Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back to Car Chats, episode 116. We're about to jump in with Len Dor. Just waiting for him to hit me with a request, and we'll get to it. As always, Diamonds Rising is the sponsor of the episode, sponsor of Car Chats. Make sure you go check them out for some dope merch. And yeah, I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Len Dor's just jumped in.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Chill, pretty chill, man. Let's get a little more light going on in here. So what's cracking?
Chilling, man. I'm glad to finally have you on. Sorry about the wait. Sorry about the little bit of a delay there, but I promised you you'd be on, and here we are.
That's no problem, man. I'm okay, man. It's worth the wait. So what's cracking? What's good?
I'm here, man. Why don't you start with giving everybody who's not in the live right now, who will see it after, a little introduction about who Len Dor is, what you do.
Okay.
Multifaceted. You make music, you shoot videos, you edit.
Man.
So why don't you give them the whole little nutshell of who Len Dor is? What up, Mo Dirt?
My name is Len Dor. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago. I lived a couple years here in Canada. I moved to Canada officially like 5 years ago. I used to play Pro Bowl here.
Hey, Trini? You said you're Trini too?
Yeah, I'm Trini. I'm originally Trinidadian, bro.
I go way back with Trinidadians, bro. My best friend is Trinidadian, bro. We go way back. Those cookouts are crazy.
So I'm originally Trini, and then I came out here. I played football out here professionally in the CFL.
Really?
I've been doing, yeah.
Shit. I want to go. See, these are the type of stories I live for on this shit.
Yeah, man. I played in the CFL here, and then I moved to the U.S. I played arena ball, and I went to a couple of NFL camps and stuff. So sports is kind of like was my first love, but I reverted back to my true love in music after when I retired. So my boys back home, everything that we produce, all the music, majority of the music I produce came from Trinidad and Tobago. My boys wrote beats and silence from back home. They are my producers and stuff. So we are a close-knit unit. We know each other for like over 20 years. You know what I mean? We kind of grew up in the music business when it comes to this shit. So, but I've been doing that. I've been cracking at that. I released like 3 EPs over COVID, and then I released 2 albums this year. 2 dope albums. One was produced by Bofat, and you heard of Bofat, the producer from Germany.
Yeah.
Bofat, The Truth That He Denied was produced by him. And then the second album I just released called A Few Pages from the Dark Ages, that's done in Trinidad and Tobago with my boy Rick Beats and stuff. So that's
like that
those 2 projects. Yeah,
I like
man.
that album a lot.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that, man. So I do music editing. I do video editing. I started doing that out of necessity, bro, because of the fact that one, paying for music videos are expensive, and then 2, my wife got me into it. You know, she taught me how to use certain softwares, and I just took it over from there, and I took everything much more on a grander scale, and I saw the benefit of it, you know, helping me with my music and stuff. So
the type of thing
doing that.
The type of things that you acquire with a good woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's a great girl. Shout out to your
woman, bro. Shout out to your woman.
Yeah, she's a great girl. So for me, it's my music production is done home in Trinidad and Tobago, and I do the videos and visuals, everything. I do that. That's the other aspect of it. So for me, I have 2/3 of the pie cornered when it comes to me as an artist, as a business when it comes to as an artist. So yeah.
So how long have you officially been making music for? Were you making it in Trinidad?
Yeah.
You said too, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you move up to Canada officially?
I moved to Canada in 2012 to play ball, and then I moved back to Trinidad for a bit, and then I came back officially in 2021. I married my wife and everything. I know my wife for over like 12, 15 years. So we knew each other for quite a while. I've been doing music since like high school, bro. I've probably been doing music since I was like 17, 18, bro. When I got into it, when I met my squad, we met in 2004 at an open mic, and we just joined forces. And when we joined forces, that was it. So back then, I recorded music, but I didn't really took it seriously then. because for me, sports was much more important, right? I played basketball and then I played football after. So sports was more important for me. So coming down to the ending of my career, my sports career, I started realizing, you know what? I still got a little thing for the pen, you know what I mean? So, and that's why over COVID, I just picked it back up. I released a small EP called Rebirth. That's on YouTube. And then from there, I released another one called The Menu, then one called The Vocal Codex. And then when I did that, I released another EP called, oh, it's four, my bad. I released another EP called Spike T. That was produced by another producer called Silence from Trinidad. He's another homeboy. And then right after that, I got the opportunity to work with Bofat. And Bofat, we did a wonderful album. It's called The Truth of the Night. I took that as a way to kind of like write about my life, real things in my life. It did exceptionally well. And now I took the time to be like, okay, let me drop another album because the response was so good that I dropped a few pages from the Dark Ages, and right now everything is just doing this. So I'm thankful.
Promotion.
Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm thankful, bro.
And
so yeah.
So during COVID is when you started really picking it back up and pursuing it like it's a career almost.
Well, during COVID, for me, it was, when during COVID we couldn't go anywhere, right? So everyone is locked down everywhere, especially in Trinidad. I was supposed to get married in 2019, and because of COVID, it pushed the whole wedding forward. So I couldn't fly out to see my girl, my wife, or nothing. I couldn't do none of that shit. So I basically started picking back up the pen in the midst of kind of like, want to get like some stresses out your mind.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, the very first track I wrote was called I Do. That was a joint that I wrote where it's kind of like a lo-fi type of vibe. And when I wrote that, everything I'm shocked to even see where I'm at right now because of the fact that I didn't think I would still have the appetite to go at it at this hard. You know what I mean? And now I'm presently right now finishing my 6th album.
Right.
I only released 2. I have like 3 to 5 more on the way. So it's amazing how those little times just sparks back up everything, and you just get the writing and get the moving.
And when you were making music in Trinidad, just to go back to your roots, like, what was the hip hop scene like before you left?
It was the thing with Trinidad, bro. It's
a lot of like soca and stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
In Trinidad, it's like this, right? There's a serious underground movement when it comes to hip hop, but it's not the powers that be don't make it the forefront. Everything they move is soca or dancehall, and that's it. Those are the only 2 genres that get the most play in our country. But there are a lot of rappers in Trinidad who want the exposure, and they do hella good music. So the thing is, it's that you as a Trinidadian, you have to find one way to be visible, which because of the socials and all that stuff, and because in Trinidad there's no music platform or industry per se. Yeah. It's a little more difficult to find Trinidadian artists and stuff like that. So it's hip hop scene is there, but it's not visible, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's hip hop scenes in Canada, like in different cities that are there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine it being a whole country that's more used to the soca dancehall like scene. Well, you guys have Carnival every year.
Every year. Yep.
I mean, chances are you're gonna have a hip hop stage. It's very unlikely, but like that's what you're here now to do. That's your mission, bro. So the people that you're talking about that have like really good artistic value in hip hop in Trinidad, do you try to work with them on your project so they get some visibility here? Because if they can tap into this market like you have, and they're working there, there's a lot of opportunity that they could do out there, out from there, by using the people here and the powers that be, right? So,
well, I'll say this, right? There's the problem with a lot of artists there. There's only one other rapper who I work with from Trinidad. His name is Mike Wise. He's pretty talented. You can look him up. He's pretty dope. the thing is that a lot of Trinidadian rappers, they only go to this level. In other words, they write, they record, and that's where it stops.
Right.
They don't know how to make themselves visible online. They don't know the necessary skills that they're going to have to learn to keep pushing your music. Like, a lot of people back home don't realize that, okay, you could do a track and you drop it, you put it on YouTube, but that's not the end of it. You have to move it, you have to market it, you have to push it, find ways to make it visible online, do videos, do different things to get people's attention. And not all artists in Trinidad understand that. They're still in that I like to battle mode, or I'm going to record the song and just play for my friends and put it out there for whoever wants to listen to it. But to say it's going to reach out further into the world, though, nah. That's where I said there's a lack of musical platform in Trinidad. You see how in the US and Canada you have different entities, they might all these different things to help you move that stuff. Trinidad doesn't have that. So it's really, really difficult unless you have a lot of money to get certain things done.
So when you speak like in Canada and the US, even the UK, like those entities that like help bring people to the forefront, what's one main one you think Trinidad could go that would utilize well, that they could actually grasp?
I think in Trinidad what we need more now in Trinidad now is we need more venture capitalism when it comes to music. So we need outside entities to come in who have the money and to basically to come in and invest and make a product and then bring it out and sell it and continue and make that product so successful that other people go in and see that product. The problem is that a lot of the local talent there, which is, although they are very good, they don't have the finances, and on top of it, the government there doesn't finance. They don't see arts and music like how the US and Canada will see music. They don't see it like that. They see it as that it's an afterthought. You know what I mean? And if you do blow up and you're happen to be a Trinidadian, that's when they come and look for you after that, just to get a little praise off of you. But so in the early stages, you're not gonna get any help. And even if you go to like the ministries and stuff that, like in Canada here, they have like different entities like SOCAN and stuff where you could go and apply and get funding, right? In Trinidad, it's not really like that. In Trinidad, it's basically it's who you know, and you have to develop your money for yourself to get what you have to get done.
And it's word of mouth out there, right?
Yeah. It's not really that way. And if a huge name comes in and takes you and does a song with you, that's a great thing. But if you're coming from the grassroots level of you trying to come out and as an artist, Trinidad doesn't have that infrastructure at all. They don't.
I think there's so many, like, as much as I hate capitalists, but sometimes you need them for things like this.
Yes, you need it. You need it.
You can't.
You have the money.
Yeah, and it has to, but it also helps if there's like a care for that art that they're putting their capitalist venturism into. Like, if they don't give a shit about it, they'll help build it, and if it falls, it falls. They don't really care because they'll just provide it to another place that needed the same thing. Correct. So you came out here. I want to just take it back for a minute. You came out here for football for the CFL. Yeah. Who'd you get drafted by?
So this is my journey for football, right? So originally I played basketball, right? I played basketball. I got an offer from a university in Oklahoma, and then that scholarship fell through. And then I had a coach who kind of like, he turned my wheels into football. He's like, "Yo, why you don't try out for American football and see what happens?" So what I did, I started working out for it, getting all the coaches and stuff to get me right for it. I did a bunch of film and stuff and whatever. And I literally was emailing every school, every university, every JUCO that was going to take me. I got a ton of offers back. So on the very final year, when I was still finishing my degree in school, on my very final year, Toronto Argonauts, the pro football team, said, "You know what? We don't want you to go to any university. We'll take you."
That's dope.
Yeah. So So I had no football experience, none at all, but I was a hell of an athlete. So I did the combine. I had good scores in the combine. And then the coach he just basically took me and placed me into that system. I had to learn. It was a bit of a learning curve for me. And then from Argos, I think I won the Grey Cup with them that year. That was a Grey Cup in 2012. Yeah.
Man,
2012.
this is a fucking crazy story, man.
Yeah, so 2012, and then they released me to go because they said I needed more experience, whatever. They released me, and then I moved to the U.S. to play arena football, Tampa Bay Storm. I played with another huge team in Nashville, Tennessee, and then I went back to the CFL. Calgary Stampeders took me in a mini camp, and then from there I did a whole bunch of different I went a bunch of NFL camps in Atlanta and different parts of the U.S. or whatever it is. I worked out for a ton of different NFL coaches and stuff like that. So that's kind of like what my journey was and whatever. So I went to the Buffalo Bills for a meeting, and then I had to sit down with the Oakland Raiders as well too. So I had a quite of
that's a journey, bro.
Yeah, I didn't see my home for like 4 or 5 years, but I didn't go back home at all for like 4 or 5 years.
Those to show the amount of work ethic that
I lived on a plane, bro. I lived on a plane between Canada and Florida. My main destinations every year was Bradenton, Florida, Atlanta, certain parts of the South, certain parts of the Deep South. So because you had to leave combines, work out, or literally I would be in one state and I would get a phone call from my agent. You're not going back home. Here's your ticket. Here's your itinerary. You're going from Detroit to Toledo. That's how my life was, so I enjoyed it. It was frustrating at times because we understand the business of football, but hey.
At least if you do make it to a certain level in the music shit, you'll be used to planes.
Of course. I mean, of course, man. I mean, I'm used to understanding how the North American business model is like. It ain't no such thing as breaks. You just have to go. You just have to go and prioritize everything and go. And
so after the football journey, that's when you started to focus on the music, right?
Yeah. So after the football journey, so this is literally what happened. Supposed to get married. COVID hit. Boom. Couldn't fly. Couldn't do shit. So
I remember.
Yeah, couldn't do shit. And then so there's a guy near my team. He has a huge studio where I lived back home. A guy called Secret Keller has this massive multi-million-dollar studio, and he kind of like took us in over the years and coached us in my engineers and stuff like that. So we got beats. He gave me a condenser mic, and when he gave me that first condenser, I even still have the condenser mic here. When he gave Overtone or whatever it is, it's a condenser mic, really beautiful. He gave it to me. I got a mic stand. I got my interface. I have my laptop, set up my whole room, everything. And before you know it, bro, I was knocking out songs every single day, bro. Like every single day I was knocking out a song.
I had my home studio. It's the same shit I was doing.
Yeah, like
I would wake up, go in the room, do the music, go to bed, wake up, finish.
I was just cooking. I was just cooking it. And
I didn't finish a song that day. It was done by the next day. Like I wasn't. So even if it was my worst song, I just wanted to know. Because this is like MySpace days, and then like in the Facebook days, and like it was a lot simpler times.
The beautiful thing when you have that type of luxury is that I remember waking up in the middle of the night and just doing a whole joint. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just put it away. Bam. Next day, send it off to my producers. They mix and master it. They do their work. Whatever. I get it back. So when I did the first EP, Rebirth, I threw it on YouTube for free, and then I started reaching out to other artists to kind of like, feature whatever it is, whatever. And I met quite a few different artists who I featured with. First I started my first track I featured with was with a Christian rapper. Okay. Right? And when that was part of the EP as well. And things just started escalating slowly. More artists I met, the more people I featured with. I didn't even know people were responding to my music like that. because I guess people during COVID had more time. So with that happening, I just started growing. So I decided, you know what? Let me just drop an EP.
Yeah.
That EP was called The Menu, and the way it got the response from that was so dope. And then I started kind of like experimenting with, like, you know, putting out visuals and stuff like that. I didn't have a camera back then. I was using my cell phone. I had an iPhone. So I learned how to do mobile shooting. And then when I started learning that, those were the little steps I took to where, you know, the music started being born. And you know, when you're a newcomer as a rapper, when you're a newcomer and you're on Bandcamp, no one really purchases your music because they don't know who you are, right? Yeah. So when that started happening and people started giving more ear to my music, then I was able to fly here to my wife, got married, and that's when everything just unfolded. I just basically stretched out my arms. I started expanding in my knowledge, started expanding. My wife told me to do videos and stuff like that, and the rest is history, bro. I'm here.
Yeah, man, and like I said, the few pages from the Dark Ages album that I checked out the album before that.
Yeah.
Focus more recent one because Imperative had connected us, right? So I was like, I'm gonna do a quick dive and then save the questions and like get some story. And I'm glad I did because these stories are crazy.
Yeah.
But when you said you were in school before you went to the football fan, when you were coming up before it was music or football, what were you in school looking for?
I was doing occupational health and safety, HSC. Okay. So that's my degree. I specialized in that. So that's what I chose to do. And from there was football, then here the music. I did a little bit of acting as well too. I did acting. I did I try to like utilize a lot of my natural qualities. Being 6'8" and 300 and change, you know what I mean? Try to utilize a lot of my qualities to get attention for certain different things. So yeah.
You're a big dude, man. You stand out in this Canadian hip hop scene, for sure. I try.
There's a lot of talented dudes here.
Lyrically and size-wise, you're one big dude in every aspect, from music to the football to just having a conversation. I mean, I'm intimidated talking to you. But so you worked with Imperative in the past, I'm assuming, or planning to?
So Imperative is kind of like one of the producers in Canada here I want to work with. I think I've listened to a lot of his music when he has done work with Griselda and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think he's dope. I think he could be one of the dopest.
He's definitely, well, I've already said it. He's definitely in my top 5 producers in Canada, you know?
Yeah, he's dope.
Not even top 3. It fluctuates once in a while, you know? But it's hard to keep a consistent top 5 sometimes, especially when you're, like, meeting new people all the time like I am. Yeah. I'm like, man, like, like, I hate people out of, like, the number 5 spot or something because I'm like, they won't be back here for a while.
Well, it's the crazy thing about Canada, what I've learned here when it comes to hip-hop, though, they have exactly everything what the U.S. has. The only difference between the U.S. and here is that Canada still has a love for huge boom bap. Like they still have a love here for like heavy underground boom bap, which I love. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I could tell that from your music. I mean,
yeah. So
you asked me.
I appreciate that.
One of the first questions you had asked me is like, what do I get from listening to your music? When you ask people that question, what's the answer you give?
Well, usually for the past few weeks, so I like to do something called a quality analysis of my music, because I don't compare, but I look at what is on the market and where do I stand. And the thing is, I've asked a lot of people when it comes to my music, and I get a lot of feedback, and a lot of people tell me that, one, my music is dope. It's quite different. It's very conscious and it's palatable where people could listen to or whatever it is. Yeah. So far I've gotten a lot of great feedback. I've gotten a ton of like producers coming at me. Even today I just had a verse I had to knock out for a guy called Kai Schmo, a rapper. I think he's from Philly or some whatever it is, but he's pretty dope. And it's my fault, and I hope if he sees it, I apologize. But I had it so deep in my bag because I'm kind of like working on I was working on 3 projects at the same time. I just completed a feature project with another local artist here who's very talented, a guy called Iverson Black. Then I just finished another one with my boy Prologic, with a homeboy called Prologic. And then I'm on the 9th and 10th track of this next album that I will be finishing. So judging from the response I've been getting with a lot of people reaching out to me for features and liking my work and the responses I get back on my Instagram, my YouTube, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great.
And you just recently dropped a video for Speak It with E. Smitty, right?
Yeah, that's my boy E. Smitty. Yeah,
That was
man.
a video, bro, and that was filmed. That was filmed by someone and edited by you, or vice versa.
It was filmed. It was filmed. Well, my boy. So the guy who filmed it is another rapper called Donnie Quest. Very talented dude as well too. That's my homeboy. Him and I, we have a passion for cameras. So whenever I have to shoot a video, he helps me out. So he grabs my rig and LCD or whatever it is. So he shot it and I edited it. I did the editing. And putting together everything and whatnot. So it was a group effort between him and I.
With Donnie Quest, his music, I wasn't aware that he did videos. Maybe I've been.
Nah, he don't. Like he's smart.
Too. I need to tap in with him too.
Donnie's dope. Donnie's dope. He's dope. That's my guy though. That's my homeboy.
How long you know Donnie for?
Man, real story. I met Donnie. He was my client first, and then we became amigos. So he has a video called Diagnosis. Even if you look it up on his YouTube page, it's in black and white. I did that video.
Really?
I did that video for him. We met through that. Yeah. Yeah. We met through that video. I did that video for him. And the funny thing was I gave him a huge discount because when we started speaking, the dude is smart. So he knew exactly what he wanted, whatever it is. And from there, we just decided, we started trading ideas. He purchased his camera, I purchased mine. And then we speak on a regular. And then we realized, yo, we buddies. So I messaged him yesterday. We messaged today. In fact, I spoke to him up to yesterday, on some new equipment. We're very close in that nature when it comes to music and visuals. He's a smart dude. That's my guy. His music is phenomenal too. You should check it out. His music is dope.
And E. Smitty is another person you work with a lot, right?
So E. Smitty, I met E. Smitty through my so there's a homeboy here called S. I don't know if you ever heard of him. S is a rapper here. He's very talented.
You're in London right now, right?
I'm in London. I'm in Mississauga. I'm actually in Mississauga. Yeah.
Okay, my bad. So
I'm closer to the city.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I thought you might have been closer to. I thought you were in London because of the connection with Imperative, because he had tagged you. I thought he was tagging people from London.
I met Imperative online. I've never met him in person, but I met him online. Yeah, I've never met him. So yeah. But he's been trying to get me to come out to his beat shows, and again, if you've seen this Imperative, I apologize, but I work and it's tough, but I will be there. But E. Smitty, I met E. Smitty through my boy S, who's another dope MC here in Canada. Very dope dude. I do S's visuals as well, and E. Smitty and S, they collaborated on a song, and then I saw E. Smitty and I started featuring with E. Smitty. In fact, E. Smitty has so much music at my camp that we featured him on so many different music, even up to recent, and we became close, became cool music-wise, and it's here.
Because and your producer Rook Beats, he's still in Trinidad, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
It's amazing to hear that type of boom bap, like that type of pop.
Yeah, he's dope.
I'm from somewhere in Trinidad, like Trinidad without like any influence of soca in it.
Yeah,
I can making something dope, soca or otherwise, but it's good. It's not good. It's unique to see beat coming out from Trinidad where you think it might have came out of like early New York or like,
yeah.
Like someone from here that makes like boom bap beats. But when you said Rook, I thought Rook was like someone that was around you right now. And he put out those beats on the like the Speak It.
Yeah, he did everything. Like, Speak It. He did the entire a few pages on the Dark Ages album. He did the entire thing.
I definitely need to tap in with him too.
Yeah, he is.
Some stories there, I'm sure, fucking phenomenal talking about that.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, as in, so just to talk a little about your videos, because we're just on the topic of film like that, and I want to try to get your business that you do in, but you're always welcome on for another episode whenever you need.
I appreciate that.
But
I appreciate that.
Your video and your filming and stuff. What's some things that you've picked up over time that you don't think other videographers have a sense of mind to keep in the back of their head when they're doing that type of stuff?
So everything I've done is self-taught. I taught myself.
The best way to do it.
Yeah, everything is self-taught, from learning the equipment, learning the techniques, the procedures, and stuff like that. Believe it or not, bro, visuals is something. It becomes an extension of you once you understand your equipment, right? Once you know what your vision is and you know how you want to apply it, it's easy. So for me, I love creating. I love creating on any level. I love creating music. I love creating videos and stuff like that. I would suggest any artist, if you have to add one skill to your repertoire, visuals.
Yeah.
Because
video visuals or photography as well?
Everything. Photography and video. Because reason being, one, you could save yourself a lot of money.
Definitely. Right? That's a big bag right there when you're outside.
Yeah. You could save yourself a lot of money. And two, you have more longevity. And because you don't have to, there are a lot of artists here in Canada, right? They're very talented in music, but by the time they record their songs, they pay that studio engineer, they have no money, right? So what else can bring a song to life? Video. So when you don't have a budget for a video, you just upload it to your streaming service, or you just upload it, it stays there and it dies there.
Yeah.
When you have video, you could keep that alive all the time as a reference. And I think a lot of artists need to understand that when you're indie artists, you have to work 3 times as hard as the commercial artist. The commercial artist already has a label that already holding everything down for him.
Publicist.
Yeah. Everything down for him. But you as an artist have to look at your how should I put it? Look at your business and divide into 3 thirds, right? 3. What two out of those 3 you have to be responsible for. Is either you're a great engineer, you can mix and master, you could do your own thing and pay for your marketing, or you're a good rapper, you do your visuals, do your mixing and marketing, mixing and mastering, and then do your marketing. You have a choice. So for me, I chose record my shit. I have my boys back who do mixing and mastering. I learned visuals, and everything else is gravy. And since I've done that, I've saved myself quite a lot of money.
And when you were making music in Trinidad, were you still shooting visuals out there? Not you personally, but were you getting visuals yourself?
Well, yeah. So we had a friend in our circle. We still have a friend in our circle. He did visuals as well. But then I started getting into cell phone video recording, right? So this is something a lot of artists don't realize that you could utilize, right? Especially with phones now. Like there's a music video I have on my page called Lacking. That was done on an iPhone 11. And it looks like it was done with a phenomenal mirrorless camera. The thing is that there's so much information, there's so much people who are now using the cell phone as a way to keep it low budget, but it still be within the trend of dropping music and stuff like that.
Reels.
Yeah. So there's a couple guys online who I follow on YouTube who teaches you, top photographers who teaches you on Patreon how to set your phone to different settings, what type of lenses to buy for your phone, and what gimbals to buy, what stabilizers to buy. And I've seen dudes use iPhone 14s and do exceptional work with visuals. When
it comes to shooting on like an iPhone or a Galaxy S23, let's just say, comparison to cameras for the sake of them being like next. What's some tips and tricks for like using a cell phone to film a video in comparison to using like a whatever you're using, a Nikon or a
I
Canon.
would get. So one of the few tricks I always tell people a good starter package to have as a mobile filmer. Get some real decent lights, some nice lights, right? You get like these newer LED lights.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, you want to get yourself a set of good cell phone lenses. So you have these companies that create these different lenses. I think I have a set here. Yeah, I have a set here. So you have these companies that have like these little lens packages where you could basically
pay attention now. If you want to shoot videos, pay attention, right?
Yeah. So you could buy these little small little lenses, right? They come in different sizes and different effects, right?
Nope. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. You could so you get like the anamorphic lenses are the ones that where you get that real movie type of feel. And you have macro lens, you have different effects, and what it does, you screw them into like these pin-ons.
Okay.
And what you could do, you place it over the camera lens, right? So
what it's a magnifying glass on it, right?
Huh?
It's like a little magnifying glass on the
yeah. So right. So the same way how your cameras have different lenses.
Yeah.
Your DSLRs and your mirror cameras have different lenses. That's what it designed for the cell phones. So most of the time, so most of the time, a lot of artists, and so if you can't afford to buy a camera, you're saving for a camera. That's how I started. You just basically buy these lenses. They're like cheap. You get them on Amazon for like $10 and $12 on a good sale day. You get quality ones. So you get that. You get a good stabilizer. You get a Zuhan gimbal. The Zuhan company, they have the very first gimbal I bought was a cell phone gimbal. So it gave you attach it. It gave you the same controls as if it was a camera, and you're gonna do so many things with it. And then you just do your videos. In fact, one of my boys, S's video, I shot with my cell phone, and no one could tell it was done with a cell phone because of how I learned to color, how I learned to edit properly, utilize certain things or whatnot. So you have different things you can learn, and there are tutorials online that could basically teach you how to improve your visuals without going that expensive.
Right. Do you feel like yourself now that you use an actual like DSLR camera and things like that, or more like high-end video fucking my bad video tools? Do you feel like a lot of people who started with that look down on people who are trying to shoot on just a cell phone? Do you feel like they're looking at it like,
no, because things have changed now, because you're seeing top video editors now using their phones.
Mm-hmm.
They're using their phones. In fact, there's this guy, I forget his, he runs a company called Lemonade on YouTube. He just did a whole selection last year where he.
You mean Cole
Bennett?
Yeah.
He took the iPhone 14 when it first came out, mm-hmm. and he shot videos for Justin Bieber, for Lil Yachty, and all those guys with the cell phone. And everyone was amazed to see what he did with it. So it's no longer embarrassing thing no more. If you're an indie artist and you don't have the budget, or you're just starting out and you don't have the budget,
right,
you could use that, and then you just work your way up. And there's so many different tutorials and software. The same editing software like Final Cut Pro, DaVinci, all those different softwares. By the time you go into production and improve it, no one could tell. No one could tell.
And as the artist Len Dor, like the hip hop artist Len Dor, I know that your message, just by speaking to you, I know that the message you're trying to convey to people is very important to you. So what is the message you're trying to convey to people when you think of yourself as an artist?
My message is it's just basically positivity, bro. I mean, all respect to all the rappers who sing about their blogs and sing about rap about their personal lives on the streets or wherever it is. But I think the music industry right now is kind of like it's overran by that shit now. Mm. And everyone is sounding absolutely the same with every topic. Yeah. So my music, for me, I try to create real life experiences. I recite those and teach those, and I also try to speak about everything from a spiritual level. I'm also a big fan of Alchemist and all his proteges and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Alchemist and all his proteges and like, so for me, that sense of real deep connection, emotional music is my goal.
So who are some of the artists that you were fond of, like inspired by when you were, like you said, Alchemist, big time fan myself too, because like that era is unbelievable.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
that era. Sorry, I don't care what people say. Hey, I don't give a shit. At someone, it's not me. Like,
I'll tell you this. If I were to do this for time's sake to really break down the artists who I look at, the group of artists who I look at who I think move me when I rap, when I listen, when I influence. So it's a mixture of the new school and the old school, right? So I'm a big fan of Mark Homme. I'm a big fan of Estenac, right? I'm a big fan of Al Divino, right? I'm a huge fan of Larry June. I'm a huge fan of Larry June.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Earl Sweatshirt. I'm a huge fan of Mike, who rolls with Earl Sweatshirt. I'm a huge fan of Navy Blue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Wiki. I'm a huge fan of Master Ace.
Oh, bro, Master Ace is one dope ass dude.
Yeah,
I had my full in podcast, bro. That guy was solid as hell.
yeah. I'm a huge.
I saw him perform in Montreal in 2011
Yeah.
at the Underpress Festival. I was there to perform for the outside stages while I was in music. Then I went to his show afterwards. Man, that guy his longevity is another person.
Yeah.
Him, Wordsworth, anybody that was in the rap Olympics back in the day, bro. Like when M was in it, when M was still doing the rap Olympics, like Words were all with them, doing rhymes with them and shit. So that was crazy stories to hear, you know, like legends that people just don't mention.
Boys, they put in a lot of work.
Like there's Wordsworth, Master Ace, then there's who else was with them? There's tons of people. I just can't even a mile a minute trying to think of them, you know what I mean? Like shit.
I'm a huge fan of Fonte from Little Brother.
Another person or group on Little Brother, bro. Little Brother is fucking underrated.
Yeah, they're to me, Little Brother. They started something that Ninth Wonder chain of events, and then you had Dilla chain of events and Madlib. I'm a huge fan of like producers like Madlib and all those dudes. Rock Marciano has become one of them dudes right now that you have to look up for. And then Ka, you ever heard of Ka? The rapper called Ka used to short ball headed dude used to roll with Rock Marciano back in the day.
Okay.
Ka,
yeah. Once you said the Rock Marciano. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
So just quickly, my homie 14 have entered. He's another Trinidadian brethren. What up, bro?
What's up?
No, it's the whole Trini team today.
Yeah.
But
so,
bro, I've been asking people lately because I know this cuts us off at about an hour or so. So I don't want to cut off. You want to drop some bars for the people?
Sure. Okay, I'll hit you. Something.
That'll be one of our clips.
All right. So I got some here. It's a 12-step program. You breathe in, heart traumas and painkillers to reset. Push down my sorrows with these treatments. Staring at the abyss, searching for legions. Dreams of my dad giving me these messages. Second chance, my son, keep it so eloquent. Silhouettes of myself being the president. Then I walk on evil like Mandela did. Cross my heart, hope to die. That's what God said. Put the truth to the front. No fine print. Daffy Duck on the hunt. With the head spin. No bullets. Knowledge, wisdom. My brethren. Fan first. Co-pilots and co-veterans. Keep first. No feet. Ooh. That's like,
my man's bro. That man's the line, though.
Yeah.
People know their history. They know that shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
So you had a lot of history in your music, too. Right?
Of course, bro. Of course.
I feel like a lot of people should add a lot of history, because if you're smart, if you're good in certain subjects from like when you were in school or whatever, and you have that stuff in the back of your head,
Yeah.
and you, when am I ever going to utilize that? You don't think you're going to utilize that information in a rap, you know what I mean? But it helps so much.
For me, with my music, bro, I try to educate people, bro. I try real hard to let people understand that it's a lot more than beats and snares and drums, bro. Like it's yeah.
My bad.
I try to educate people and let people know it's much more than beats and drums and snares. It's about teaching, it's history, it's about behavior, it's about coaching, it's about letting people know that you're not the only person that going through that shit. Like when I wrote my song called DeLorean, the hook with both I said, Dad died, he went to the abyss. Mama, my queen, raised me since. My brother, he was my centurion. Let me take you back. Grab the DeLorean. Dad died, he went to the abyss. Mama, my queen, raised me since. My brother, he was my centurion. Let me take you back. Grab a DeLorean. I've been an athlete most of my life. Chubby kid body came with the height. Knowledge came, it came with strife. Bruised knuckles from every fight. In the streets, I was critically acclaimed. On this beat, I drag the chain. Speak from my heart, I give you my history. Lost accent, I'm really Trini. Never lost my sense of self. By God's grace, I fixed myself. When I was younger, it was mama's belt. A village raised me a commonwealth. The truth, and nothing else. The pen protected my mental health. In the second verse, you're gonna understand my strength. That's.
I like it, bro. You do deep with your shit. So that's why I love music, bro. It's relatable. Like it's shit that the same type of music that I used to make myself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Music. It was all that gangster shit because I was listening to Dipset, all that. You know?
We all were, bro. We all were in that era.
On to like listening to like that real personal shit Joe Budden was doing with mood music, and that's when I changed the whole style of like what I was putting out. I was like,
yeah,
I gotta, you know, if I'm going through shit, I'm gonna just be transparent and put it out there. If it'll help somebody, it helps somebody, you know. And yeah, like definitely we scratched the. We got some great stories from you today, but we're gonna definitely have to have you on again, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you for your time, though. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome on anytime. I'm glad. I'm glad. I know that we're definitely going to have you back on. So before we go, you want to say anything to the people?
Sure.
Before
hey, those who are now getting familiar with me, I want to say thank you to my boy Jordan for having me on. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Oh, you go get the album. It's on all streaming platforms. A few pages from the Dark Ages. Also, go get The Truth That He Denied, the very first one we dropped early this year. Check my YouTube page out. Check all my visuals, everything. Can't miss anything. Also, next year going to be a crazy year. A lot of new music next year, a lot of new features. So, again,
touch on next year's plans on the next.
Next year plan going to be crazy. It's going to be great. I have a lot of little ideas going on. So I really appreciate it, man. So thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
If I hear of any openings on bills for shows out here, I'll let you know and I'll get you in touch.
I look forward to it. Thank you. Thank you.
Platform's a one-stop shop for everything. Like I'm trying to get people on bills. I'm trying to get networking happening. You see how that page is slowly growing, but everyone's starting to see what the
vision behind. Good job. You're doing a good job, bro. You're doing a good job.
No, I'm trying my best, bro. But
you're doing a good job.
Again, episode 116 of Car Chats. It's your man Hanley from On the Line with. We got Len Dor. Make sure you go run up his new video with East Middies called Speak It. It's on the Car Chats group page. I'll repost it again today. And yeah, we'll have you on again soon, bro. And much love for coming on. I appreciate you showing genuine love all the time, bro, and being patient and understanding. And yeah, definitely, bro, whenever you need to promote something, you know who to reach. Hit me up, bro. I'll do my best to help push it out there. I got a lot of network game in Vermont and shit right now.
Okay.
I've been doing with some of the artists from Vermont and New York, but they're all tuning into the Canadian artists I'm interviewing now because they've been sleeping a little too fucking long on us. All right?
Now, listen, you're doing a phenomenal job, bro.
I'm glad
you're doing a great job.
I'm glad I got another Trinidadian brethren on my list of homies. You know, it's going on to like 50 or 55 now. So like, we'll be in touch, bro, and I'll definitely hit you up, and we'll figure something out for another episode soon. But everybody, again, Len Dor out of Mississauga, your man
Thank you, man.
based in Ottawa. Make sure you go run up everything, Len Dor, everything from his new album to his EPs, just during COVID and pre-COVID. And yeah, do you still have stuff out from when you were in Trinidad
Yeah,
that's available to
everything is there. Yeah, everything is all my stuff from Trinidad
follow
is
his
on Bandcamp.
journey, bro? Follow his journey from music,
Yeah, everything there is
football.
on Bandcamp. You can get all my albums there. You can stream it. You can go on my YouTube pages. People, if you want, I still have I have CDs as well too. I have CDs on my first album. Let me just show you this real quick. Yeah, but this was the very first album here, The Truth to Deny. This flew off the shelf like hotcakes, bro. So if you want it, just place the order. I'll send it to you.
After this interview, I'm gonna hit you in a message because we're building an artist wall, and we're trying to get people to send in their whether merch or their albums, whatever. We throw it up on the wall just so it's showcased too. But I'll hit you up after this. But again, bro, everything Len Dor is on YouTube, all streaming platforms, and thank you for everybody for checking out the episode 116 of Car Chats. Diamonds Rising is our sponsor, and my bro, we'll talk again soon. Thanks for coming on.
Take it easy, bro. Thanks. Peace.